put you in my sights.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Elite POV, where it's podcast time, and you know what that means.
Means technical difficulties. That's what it fucking means.
Again?
No, we're good.
I am one of your hosts. It's my birthday, actually, because I am the king of Bella style, Anthony DiStefano, here hosting the show for you. As you can see, I am clearly Ran with Ant himself. How's everybody doing? Alongside the draw, Jackie Rodriguez, what is up?
What's up? Late night for us, but we got a lot of show to cover, so I'm excited.
And I'm a piece of shit that gets married Friday, Phil Catalotto, with a horrible take about everything. You can listen to me on Who Got Next, even though I hate that show now, too. Who Got Next 2.0 coming soon to the network.
So as I said this, I just realized that for audio listeners, I'm dressed like Ant right now. Nice. I'm wearing a Bella Twins shirt. I'm wearing a Bella Twins jacket that Ant gave to me because he's not a Bella Twins fan anymore. Yeah. And a Ran with Ant hat because you always got to respect
Or I just got too fucking fat to fit in the jacket, so I sold it to you.
Yeah. And I'm wearing a Ran with Ant hat because you have to always respect where you came from.
You got to be the brand.
As Ant and Jackie said it really nice, but Ant said it really mean. But it's okay. It's late, right? We're going live.
Tired Boy's the worst.
Yeah, Tired Boy is the worst. Yeah. Actually, I'm pretty amped right now. Budge is the worst. So we're going to talk all about the Dynamite that just ended. What a Dynamite it was. But, yeah, so let's jump right into it.
Why isn't our intro song Dynamite by Tayo Cruz?
Because we don't want to get banned off of Twitch.
Yeah, we're not trying to get that.
Catch
that
Shout out to everybody in the chat.
All right, sorry.
Shout out to everybody in the chat who is joining us for this late episode of Elite POV. And I want to start out strong. Let's talk about that incredible main event we just watched. Because listen, in a world of technical matches, and we had a great one tonight, which we'll get to right after this. In a world where Dave Meltzer gives everything 6, 7, 8 stars. That main event for me was a 10-star match. I don't care what anybody says. That was pure fun. I love the swerve, where Hangman was Stay Puft and Brandon Cutler was the horse. I thought it was incredible. It was so much fun. Ghostbusters and Dark Order with all their costumes. So I'm going to start off with you, Jackie. What did you think of tonight's main event?
It was so much freaking fun. So much fun. I love that callback to the BTE of old with the Ghostbusters gear for the Elite. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man being Hangman was the best swerve of the night, honestly. I love me some Hangman Adam Page. And the moral of the story is Brandon Cutler needs better friends because that dude's always ending up kidnapped and mouth taped up. And like, my God, like Cutler, get it together. I was like, somebody needs an intervention for that guy. But no, really. It was ton of fun. Like you said, everything, is so technical and precise now. It's like every once in a while you need that match that's just like 100% pure fun. And that was tonight's main event.
What'd you think, Ant?
I loved it. When wrestling is silly and funny, it is the best when it's done properly. And that was done properly. A gimmick match, we're used to getting thrown these gimmick matches, right? Every Halloween or Christmas, and they suck, right? They're not fun. This match was so fun, especially the swerve at the end where Hangman tricks Kenny and gets his hands on the Elite. It was just beautiful storytelling. And they did it in a fun way. Nakazawa cracked me up when he was diving on people as the big baby. There were so many little funny spots. I was dying laughing. Jackie was watching with me. I was dying laughing when the marshmallow was shaking the ref, trying to wake him up in the background. I didn't know it was Hangman at the time, but I was losing my shit because it's just such a great touch. You know what I mean? It's It's just the little details. I had a blast. I think that was really fun. I think if anyone likes comedy wrestling, that's one of the first matches I would show them because everyone loves the Ghostbusters for one. And the match was actually fantastic. Johnny Hungy is such a star. That guy definitely could be a TNT champion one day. And he just every time you see him, he gets better and better and better. And I'm in love with that wrestling because it just makes me laugh. It makes me crack up. But it's done so poorly other places that, like the 24/7 championship, right? 24/7 championship should be fun as shit. You should be laughing your ass off. And R-Truth does make that. But like tonight, it showed that you could be funny, but still have a great match. And you can still have great maneuvers. And so I was living for it.
Plus, it's so much better on a show that we saw tonight. Like we saw the brutality in Mox and 10, and we saw the great technical work in Serena versus Sheeta. We saw a great match with Punk and Fish. Like there was a lot of stuff that we saw tonight that was very technical, very pro wrestling, and very hard hitting. Right. So to get a match that's very jokey and fun, it's like it's cool, right? Because remember, AEW has always been a variety show. You're gonna get every type of wrestling. Any given night, you can get anything, right? We saw a fucking real death match with light tubes and a pizza cutter, and then we saw the match that we had tonight. And that's why I love AEW, because it gives you a variety, it keeps things fresh. And like Ant said, and I couldn't agree more, they still had a fantastic match. You take all the funny spots out of it, it's still an incredible match with incredible moves. And you have a team like the Elite who've done stuff like this before. You have a team like the Dark Order who does a lot of this stuff a lot more frequently than everybody else. The match makes sense that it's more comedy based, and it's just a good time. Plus, it keeps the Hangman Kenny thing going without getting too personal yet, because there's still a few weeks. There's 2 weeks left until Full Gear, so you have some time. You have 4 shows counting Rampage left, so you can slowly build to it while still having fun. Because yes, this was the Halloween episode, right? I mean, I know Rampage this week is the real Halloween episode, but this one was like a good teaser for everything that's happening on Friday.
I agree.
100% agreed.
I mean, they're already announcing matches for Friday and next Wednesday that are just like off the charts. Like
every week.
It's every week you have something to look forward to, and like as a wrestling fan, and it's just something that you crave, right? It's something like, I remember when you would get home from school on Monday and all you wanted to do was watch wrestling, right? You could not wait. And that feeling's back for me, like Wednesdays and Fridays. Like it was to the point I was at a wedding Saturday night when Dynamite was on. I legit woke up that morning at like 8 a.m. or 6 a.m. before I had to leave to go work and watched like highlights of all the matches from the night before, because it's must-see TV.
Yeah. It's like if you miss one episode, you're missing a hell of a lot. So
yeah,
and the urge to like catch up is like it's like you inject this into my veins.
Yeah, and considering I get married on Friday. Well, not married. I have the ceremony Friday, and that's Rampage time. So I need the wedding to end 10 sharp because I got things to watch.
Well, listen, don't worry. You're gonna get the best promo of the night anyway at your wedding live. And so that's all you need. The promo there. Yeah. Someone needs to record it.
Yeah. Listen, all I'm saying is Anderson over here is going to make sure that you guys get out at 10. That's
all I'm saying is stay tuned. If somebody records my entrance to this wedding, stay tuned for what it's about to be, because it's going to be epic.
I know we're not a rumor show, but it's getting very popular in the chat. Can we address what Bray Wyatt just tweeted out?
What'd he tweet?
2 more days.
Yeah, his 90 days are up
on Friday.
Yeah, but Rampage is taped though.
Fuck me.
Yeah, so that sucks. Rampage is taped.
And here we go, dropping frames. I'm gonna go shut the other computer off. You guys keep talking.
Okay. So now I want to move on to my favorite match of the night. Right, even though the main event was incredible, my actual favorite match of the night was this incredible pro wrestling clinic that we got the privilege of being able to see, and that is Serena Deeb versus Sheeta. So Jackie, I'm gonna throw to you first. I mean, you're the only one here right now. So I'm gonna throw to you. Yeah. But what did you think about this match? Because I thought it was just
Jackie
unbelievable.
First? What the fuck, bro? No, I'm just kidding.
For the audio listeners, Ant wasn't at his chair, so yeah, it got thrown to me first. This was one of the matches in the tournament that I was really, really looking forward to. I was super hyped to see these two have their rematch, and it did not disappoint whatsoever. You talk about putting on a freaking clinic. Without a doubt, to me, Sheeta and Deeb are 2 of the best women's wrestlers in that company, and potentially 2 of the best across the board.
Mhm.
The technicality, the striking, it just like everything was the smoothest, most seamless transition from move to move. And
From
I
side to
wish
side.
from side to side, I wish that picture in picture did not exist in that match.
Yeah.
And I know that that's going to be a complaint you're going to hear from me week after week. But it seems to be that in the matches where things are getting the most like heated, that's when the picture in picture comes in and you're like, fuck, man. Like
Yeah.
I want to see this match completely uninterrupted. So aside from that being the chief complaint, there's nothing else I could complain about with that match because it was
Serena
just straight
Deeb's
fire.
fucking awesome. Serena Deeb
She's
is
just on another
incredible.
level.
She's working great
Incredible.
heel work. Her taking out the knee is going to be a huge storyline. Is Sheeta going to be able to compete, or does Deeb then get her spot? Like, you could do a story off that. Like, I want to see them keep wrestling because I'm enjoying both. I've enjoyed both of their matches. We got to see one live, which was great, right? It was actually like one of the matches that started slow, and by the end, you're like, damn, can that just go a little bit longer? And then tonight didn't start slow at all. Tonight was like, there was that feud already built, so it just started hot. Give me it again. I love it. I love what Deeb's doing. I was like, I knew when they signed her, I thought maybe, okay, this is going to be like a veteran leader for the locker room. No, this is like a top player in that division, and I love it.
Hell yeah.
And the way they're using her is like honestly the way they're using like Bryan Danielson. She's like a hired killer, right? Like you put her in that ring and you're gonna get this unbelievable technical match. I think the best thing that happened for Serena was at Double or Nothing, where she had that buy-in match against Riho. I think we got to see another side of her be this technical wizard, but also be this aggressive heel, which I think that women's division needs, because Britt Baker's a heel, but she's cool, right? Like people want to cheer
just
her.
like Adam Cole.
Right.
Yeah, like she's 100% like
They're
Adam Cole.
the coolest heels in wrestling.
Exactly. And so like with Serena is a great heel and people like her, but she's able to wrestle a violent, super submission based style, which no one else in that division wrestles right now. So I think it's really cool that we get to see matches like this. And how long did they go? Do we know how long that match went? Because it felt like it went for a while.
I had to be over 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Had to be over 8 minutes of TV time.
It felt pretty long, and I'm not in a sense of like
Not in
it
a
felt
bad
long,
way, but
like in a bad way, but it felt like they gave them a lot more room than we've.
There's a lot of
previously seen.
storytelling in it, which I like too. With the with hitting her with the trophy, and then now she doubts it to get the finger poke of doom in the eye, and then you get the roll up, and you think it's over then, and there's a kick out, and you're like, oh my god, we're still going. And that AEW did that so many times tonight, but it did it so well where you're like, okay, it's over, and you're like Punk versus Fish. Punk hits that go to sleep, oh no, that was actually the ending. They botched the ending. I thought it was. I even looked and said, wait, did that match just end? Because I thought that Fish kicked out. I think Fish really did kick out.
He did kick out on a 10. It was a 2 count, but the ref counted 3.
So, yeah, I thought that was like a close call. I thought that was for the match, but then I realized nothing happened after that.
So it was weird. Yeah, it was weird. It was very, very weird. I mean, let's talk about that match right now then. If we're going to transition over to Punk versus Fish, what did you guys think of it? I'm going to be honest with you. I had a lot going on. A lot of people here, wedding week. You got people in and out of my house, but I wasn't necessarily paying attention to the match. So I'll start with you, Ant. You brought it up. What did you think about Punk versus Fish?
It was very technical. I think Punk is slowly getting back to a place where we can now see him go against people like Bobby Fish and go higher up now, because for a while there, the first couple matches, he was a little bit slower. It's been 7 years. He has some ring rust. Tonight, he looked a little bit more sharp. But Bobby Fish has looked great in every single one of his matches. Like, Bobby Fish has been a great addition to AEW. And we were talking when we were watching it together that, like, people like Bobby Fish and now Tony Nese and these, like, lower signings that you don't think are going to be a huge deal, they will be, because they're going to keep elevating the guys like Punk, the guys like Danielson, and they're going to give them good matches. Those guys are there to produce great matches to elevate someone else. And I love that they do that. It's not a job out. Punk could have beat Bobby Fish in 2 minutes, right? If they wanted him to. And you would have been like, oh, it's Bobby Fish. He can't beat CM Punk. But it got taken to the limit, and I love it. And I like that Punk's wrestling a more technical style than he used to. Very Bret Hart-esque. He became like a Bret Hart fanboy after he left wrestling, right? And he comes back and he's more technical and he's more, his pace is more slowed down, and he's making a body slam look cool again. I saw that tweeted out and I agreed. I was like, well, he makes a body slam look pretty goddamn good again. And that's just
he's Logan, bro. He's Logan.
Old man Logan. Yep, we say it all the time.
Old man Logan.
I love it.
Old man Logan, you're gonna wrestle his pace. Right, especially in a company like AEW where you have a lot of wrestlers, the Sammys, the Darbys, the Dante Martins, the Phoenix, and they're all wrestling at this crazy fast pace. You have Punk slow it down as the veteran should, right? You slow it down. You're gonna work a more technical style. With a lot of people worked, especially tonight. There were a lot of technical matches, but I just think it's Old Man Logan, 100%. But what do you think of it, Jackie?
Match again. It's like, the thing where I'm starting to familiarize myself with Bobby Fish as a wrestler. I'm not super familiar with his style or what he's done previously, but I'm intrigued. Guys,
does the mustache intrigue you? Because it intrigues me.
I don't know that it's the mustache.
You know what intrigues me the most about Bobby Fish? Just take this in a completely different direction. Bobby Fish has looked 57 years old for the last 20 years. Like, you could tell me this dude's any age and I'd believe you.
No,
he's had the same face for like 20 years.
It's you're not wrong.
It's incredible. And maybe it's the mustache. Maybe he shaves the mustache.
Fish have very long
he looks
lives
like 10
anyway?
years younger.
Oh my god!
I don't know. I'm a high school dropout. I don't know nothing.
I have no idea, but that style of fighting, that very ground and pound technical, is my cup of tea. I love that. And like you guys mentioned, AEW kind of became synonymous in the very beginning with a lot of these high flying, acrobatic type wrestlers. So to see them now balancing it out with a lot of, grappling, striking, hard hitting, first of all, that's like, for me, that's a great move. But for CM Punk,
I lost him.
What happened?
I'm reading the rundown to see what's coming up, and I looked at the rundown, and it doesn't say Mox first 10. It says Mom first.
No. Oh, the last one does.
God, I can't.
The last one does it. Autocorrected.
I'm like, Mom verse 10.
This is legit what's gonna happen when you get us on here, a bunch of tired boys.
Tired boys the worst.
He's the worst.
Tired boys.
But now to see, I want to see Punk hit that next level and start getting in the ring with some of these bigger names in the company. I know, I realize that we're looking at kind of like a ladder system here, starting at the bottom and going up. But
I'm two things. One, and I'll be the first one to do this. This week. Shout out to Kyle in the chat. John Momley. Yeah. That popped me. All right. Now, second thing is a lot of people in the chat are bringing this up. So who do we think is going to be Punk's opponent at Full Gear? Because, of course, we're a couple weeks out.
Can I add one thing to the Punk opening thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So to me, CM Punk opening the show is great, right? Because it's CM Punk opening your show. People want to come watch CM Punk. But this is going to be unpopular. The style CM Punk is wrestling should not open up the show. Because I think it's slower. I think people like Jungle Boy and Guevara and the people with these electric movesets that are flying all over, it's just my WCW nostalgia that I need cruiserweights and flippy shit to open up a wrestling show.
Well, so here's the thing.
Because it just gets you like, wow, I'm ready to go.
So usually, that main event that we saw tonight is what opens the show. AEW usually opens the show with the crazy, high-flying, incredibly fun match, and then works their way to the main event. But I think as long as Hangman or Kenny are in this feud going up to Full Gear, that match is going to start main eventing. The stuff with the Dark Order and the Elite are going to main event.
That
because
makes sense because
that's what people wanted to see.
You want your hot moment at the end at the beginning, so.
I agree. Yeah. I agree with you 100%. Maybe Moxley and 10 should have opened.
Yep.
right? Because that, I mean,
Dude,
and we can
Moxley
transition to
fucked
that.
him. Oh,
right?
let's answer your question. The answer.
Oh,
Ricky,
yeah.
The
And
answer,
who do you guys think?
The answer is Ricky Starks. Send Hook.
Okay. Ricky
Yeah.
Starks and then Hook.
Well, send Hook too. Both of them.
Okay.
How about you, Jackie? What do you think?
Who do you think?
I really didn't have much speculation out of it, but now that you mention it, yeah, I mean, Ricky Starks, where is that match? You know, we had the Hobbs match already. It's like, can we get Ricky next on the line? I'll pay to see that.
Well, in the road to this week, Punk was talking about AEW having a lot of bullies that attack people. Maybe the rumor of Punk versus Wardlow is true. Maybe Punk starts to get involved in this Sting Darby thing. Maybe next week we see Pinnacle attack Sting.
So you're saying that like he would get involved with MJF and then MJF would send Wardlow when Punk wants him to send Hook, but no one's sending Hook?
Yeah, I think so, right? I mean, listen, if somebody wants to send Wardlow to me, I'm not going to stop them. You know what I mean? He comes with that little man bun with them muscles popping out that tank top. I ain't going to say no.
Wait, no, there was a direct quote from you on that one.
Oh, yes, please read to the people what I told you to write down.
He literally had me take this note. Beautifully chiseled back. How dare he?
Yeah, so and we'll get to Mox and 10. Let's talk about that. So we had
Well, speaking
MJF,
of tens, let's talk about his back. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
So we
him.
had MJF in the squash match, which led to the promo afterwards, which led to a really cool.
Dude, that guy with the squash match though, definitely next Shawn Michaels.
100%. Yeah, that's an inside joke. 100%.
100% Shawn Michaels.
When you said that, Cody looked at me like, "What?" And I was like, "Let me explain it to you."
Hold on. Hold on.
It's a long story.
I mean, Cody was about to burn his rant with Ant stuff. Like, what did I sign up for back in the day?
Listen,
but we get the promo.
they all
the
start
Pinnacle.
somewhere. Matt Hardy jobbed out. Jeff Hardy jobbed out. Chungus jobbed out.
Chungus is about to be your next world champ, but we'll talk about that at another time. Chungus is about to have the wedding of the century.
Yeah,
Twitch.tv
Hey.
/ Game of Wrestling. If you guys
JW
want to know
Iron,
what we're
2
talking
weeks.
about. So the Pinnacle cut a promo, which leads to a very cool backstage segment with Darby. They come out, they attack Sting, and Darby attack the Pinnacle. Now, what I mean by that Wardlow thing is, we all know Wardlow, very beautiful, very chiseled back. They hit him with a skateboard with thumbtacks on it. How dare you, sir? If you hurt this beautiful man and his beautiful back, we're gonna have a problem. All right, Darby. I like you, Darby. I like you. Don't make me come after you too. All right, because Wardlow needs to be protected at all costs.
I still can't get Darby being Todd from the Wedding Crashers out of my head. I don't know why. Because he just his actions remind me of Todd. If anyone watched Wedding Crashers, just like the way Todd's like, would that make you love me? Like, it's just like reminds me of Darby Allin. I don't know why. I love Darby too, but it's just
No, Adam in the chat did not see the picture of Wardlow's back, and if you send it to me on Twitter and it looks bad, Darby gonna have to fight, man. Darby's my height.
You're heading to full gear. You're gonna throw hands.
It's gonna be me and MGF versus Darby and that guy that was on stage. Shout out to Darby for taking a fucking back bump on his head at a rock concert for no reason. Nobody told him to. He hit and he grabbed his head. I was like, dude, Darby's gonna have the greatest 3-year career anyone has ever had in wrestling.
He's here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah, it's. But what do you think of this whole segment? I mean, you're a Pinnacle girl. We see you with the FTR shirt on, right? You're about to become their manager in a few weeks officially. The dirt sheets are talking about it. So what do you think about this segment?
I liked it. I really liked the when Darby throws in his vignettes that are, I'm pretty sure that they're his production. He's directing them. They always turn out like really eerie and really cool. But I loved the words that flashed across the screen where it says "time to break you physically," and I'm like, I'm ready for this. I just want to see MJF get.
I think we all want Wardlow to break us physically.
Me more than anybody.
That's a totally different show. Yeah, definitely Phil is in the front of that line.
Yeah,
Nobody's touching him on that.
Well, Carrie is, but
yeah.
Shout out to Carrie.
Yeah, shout out.
I'm behind her in that line.
I'm just very curious to see if Darby's going to be the one to hand MJF his next loss.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
But it's weird, right? Because MJF lost to Jericho at
Yeah.
All Out in a big match, but Darby also lost to Punk, so it could really go in any direction. And I think the one thing that I do want to bring up is, so in an interview, Tony Khan said, I think he was on Busted Open, he said that he's holding back on doing everything that he wants to do, and he's giving us these big moments little by little. And if this is him holding back, what are you at full force? Because, like, Jesus Christ, every week is stacked, right? Another incredible week of matches. And the one match that I want to talk about that I completely forgot even happened on tonight's card because so much happened is Sammy versus Ethan Page. And we'll get to that next. But, Ant, what did you think of this segment? Are you excited for MJF and Darby at Full Gear?
I am. I'm more excited of the dynamic between Wardlow and MJF. I'm not going to lie. I'm a Darby fan. I like Darby. I just think that right now they have a lot of little storylines hidden in here, especially with the Pinnacle and now the Accountability Buddy, and there's a lot of little things that are going on here that you're just like, you watch, and MJF again cuts a great heel promo, gets him. Darby so beloved. I know that match is going to be good, but like this is just the top layer of where we're going to go. So I'm excited for it, but I know it's not the end when they fight at Full Gear. That's just the top layer peeling off. I feel like there's going to be a feud that leads to other storylines that are going to carry us all the way to maybe next year's All Out.
Listen, we saw last year the MJF and Chris Jericho storyline started around Full Gear, and then it just ended at All Out. So I mean, yeah, you could be completely right. This MJF Darby stuff can go a year. Just
MJF works better in feuds. MJF's not a one-off guy. MJF needs a long-term story, and I think that's why Jericho and him work so well together. Is because Jericho, I feel, is the same way. Jericho's better at telling a story over time. Cody Rhodes is better than at telling a story over time than just in a match. They need the promo. They need everything to bring it together. Where Jon Moxley didn't have to tell a story tonight. He went out, he kicked ass, story over. Like,
yeah, and let's.
That is his story.
That'll be a quicker segment, so we can jump into that next. But so we had Jon Moxley versus 10. I feel like I look down for a second. I look up and 10 is completely bleeding.
Oh my God, he must have.
Oh man,
I think he cut a little bit too deep, like for real.
You think that's what it was? Yeah.
Oh, I don't think
gushing
because
blood.
Like Moxley did the fake bite. Like even if he really bit him, you're not
bleeding.
You're not
that
gonna
way.
bleed like that. No.
Like he bleeded too hard, I think.
He had blood pooling in the back of his head, like when he was laying down on the mat. Like you could see that it was pretty intense.
Listen, Moxley warned us, right? He warned us in the promo that he cut last week that he's here to do business and leave, right? And I mean, listen, 10 has a great future, right? The dude looks like a megastar, and he has a ton of personality. If you have time to watch the vlogs, especially like Sammy's vlog, so he has a bright future. He's super young. He's only a couple of years in when it comes to wrestling, so he can take losses like this, and it's okay. And it really sets up what Moxley is having to do in this tournament. Now, next round, we're going to see Moxley versus Orange Cassidy. Right? And it's like, let's keep it going. And let's make Bryan Danielson kill Eddie Kingston. And then we're getting two killers in the finals who are out for blood. And you're going to have this great match. But here's the thing.
Moxley's going to destroy Orange Cassidy in 2 minutes. Danielson's going to need a fucking army to destroy Kingston. It's going to be
yeah, of course. I don't want it to be a quick match. But, like, I want it to be where it's like, yo, these guys went through wars.
And shout out to Adam in the chat. The mask was cool, and Mox destroying it was a big heel move. So there's two things. One, Kyle pointed out, we're watching, and he goes, where's 10's new mask? Well, now we know why he didn't wear his new mask, because it got ripped to shit.
Yeah.
Two, I think we all kind of agreed Sunday night that we think Moxley or Danielson is going to be the next big heel, because it's all faces really besides the Elite. So it's going to be the next big heel is either going to be Moxley or a Danielson. And with that action tonight and that promo last week, it's easier to sway Moxley, because Moxley's not fighting for us. He's fighting for his paycheck so he can go home to his kid and his wife. And that's all he cares about. It's very prize fighter-esque. I love that. Like, I'm a hired hand. I come in, I fight, I get paid, I go home. This is what I'm good at. This is my profession. If I was better at something else, I'd do that. But this is what pays the bills. And I love that because it connects to me as like a father, and it connects to me as a man of the household, or I'm sure a woman of the household, where you're like, I'm going to go do my shit, come home, and just get shit done. Like, I'm going to kill today and be done. He didn't want to waste any fucking time tonight, and he showed, I'm not wasting time. Like, you fucking get in a ring with me, you're going to die, and I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was very aggressive with the fans tonight.
Yeah.
He straight up shoved that guy.
Now, that could have been a plant.
The guardrail.
But that could have been a plant to kind of, I mean, but I love it because I love Moxley, and I like him better as a heel.
What about when he kicked the guardrail and he hit that guy right in his knee?
For 5 years, I begged for Dean Ambrose to turn heel. All right? Right? Give me Moxley heel. Give me that guy heel on this kind of show. There's no limits. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God.
Oh, it's going to get very violent. It's going to be a lot of fun, right? It's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and we didn't have to wait 10 years to get it. You just get it organically and see where it grows. But now, talking about this whole heel babyface thing, I want to get into this Cody promo. Now, I tweeted out during it, I think I might be one of the only people still cheering Cody. And I understand why people don't like him. I get it, right? But for someone like me who cried in Chicago at All In when he won the belt, it's very hard for me to boo that man. Like, I'm very emotionally invested in him as a performer. So, but I like what he's doing. And it's a character thing. Like, yeah, people want to boo him. You're still getting to boo him, though, whether he wants you to or not. But, he's trying to win people back over, and we'll see what happens. We saw Andrade come out, and then, like Aint said, before the show, like, I'm a bigger Andrade and Malachi fan. So even though I do like Cody, I want to see, Andrade and Malachi go over, and it looks like it might be a tag team match at Full Gear. But Jackie, I'll start with you. What'd you think of Cody Rhodes' promo first, and then what'd you think of the attack afterwards by Malachi and Andrade?
Few things here. There was a really interesting quote that Cody dropped during this promo where he says it's easy to focus on the guy who cuts the checks, but don't forget the man who built this bank.
Fuck yeah.
And I was like, boom, money. When Cody is on, he is all the way on. Just like unbelievable, because he's getting a lot of hate. And I get it. Like, when you have the babyface trope that just goes on a little bit longer and people are just, clamoring for him to be edgier, to be more of a heel, sometimes, it could get stale. I just don't get the visceral, like, hatred towards him as though he has been booked to be this unstoppable force, can never lose a match or whatever. I'm like, that's so not, like, if you look historically, that's not what's happening here. Yeah. But he really took the time to kind of acknowledge it. He didn't run from it. He kind of actually leaned into it a little bit. But, when he hit that line, I was like, damn. I'm like, this man really is an integral part of what brought AEW to the dance in the first place.
Which he is. It's undeniable that he is. And I agree with everything you're saying. And it's also like, I think it's pretty cool that, for two reasons. One, that he's taking a challenge upon himself that he said in the promo to get people to like him again. And I know people are like, oh my God, Cody always panders to the crowd. Cody always does this. I love it because it's real, right? Like, Cody made mention of doing the pedigree. Obviously, he can't say the word pedigree, right? Mm-hmm. But we know what he was talking about. We know he was talking about Triple H. And I know that there's people out there who hate when Cody and the Elite do it. But I love it because as fans, we're on social media. As fans, a lot of us are still watching both shows. So, I mean, not me. A lot of them are still watching both shows.
I was going to say them.
Yeah. But still, like, we know what's going on. We're reading the dirt sheets. We're reading these wrestling reporters talking about stuff. We see the tweets comparing Cody Rhodes to Triple H. So the fact that he's mentioning it and saying it straight out, I think is really cool because he's talking to us. He's talking to the diehard fans. And AEW does do the fun stuff that's for the casual fans, but they like to tell those really specific story details that only the diehard fans are going to know and understand and appreciate. Most importantly, appreciate. And I love Cody for doing that, and that's why I love this promo tonight. I didn't really like the orange stuff. It was weird. But I love the promo around that stuff and what came after it. So, well, Jackie, I'll go back to you. What do you think about the beatdown with Malachi and Andrade?
All of that was fantastic, but one point that I don't want to gloss over here, because this is something that's important to me, and I guess, like, just in terms of representation, I love the fact that they allow Andrade to talk and cut his own promos, accent and all. Maybe his English isn't 100% perfect, but they let him go with that microphone. And to me, that's a certain level of trust that other places, I'm not going to name any names, have been notorious for stifling, talent of different cultures, because they're like, you can't cut a promo because your English isn't spot on.
Yeah.
So the fact that they gave Andrade the mic and they let him run with it, I was like, this is a moment for me. So that was big. I'm curious to see now where it's going to go with the Malachi Black and Andrade alliance.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we're going to get that tag match at Full Gear, but you've got 4 top players there, and that has to be a banger match.
And it's going to be a hell of a match. You got 4 different styles, right? And you got interwoven story. You have 2 different storylines that are getting mashed together, and it's just going to be a ton of fun. But Ant, what do you think of everything? Because I know you're not necessarily the biggest Cody fan all the time.
I listen. I actually do like Cody Rhodes. I didn't like the USA thing versus Britain, like major ally. That was stupid to me, right? It was just I felt like it was trying to go too deep into the wrestling history of like America versus all. Like half of us didn't really like the country when you were cutting the promo. So can we just like not bring that shit?
It wasn't the right time.
Yeah, let's not bring that shit into wrestling. There's a lot of fucking shit happening in our country that we don't need to talk about when we're trying to escape from that.
Right.
But like to me, so that's why it missed the mark. I actually, here's a spoiler. Next week, Ran on Wrestling is about Cody Rhodes. I am a Cody fan. I do like Cody. I cheer for Cody. Unfortunately, Cody is fighting Malachi and Andrade, who are 2 of my favorite wrestlers. I will agree with you, Jackie, though. Like, I was so happy to see Andrade get to cut a promo, and he fucking hit it out of the park. Hit it out of the park. But when Cody went into his promo, and we were watching with Kyle said, see, this is the John Cena stuff I'm talking about. Exactly. Lean into it. Embrace it. Because what do we always hear? Any reaction is better than no reaction. If you get that Reigns Cena reaction where you're supposed to be the good guy, but they can't stand you, you're doing your job, because they're either going to pay to see you win or they're going to pay to see you lose. And that's the great thing about it. Cody Rhodes, to me, is one of the main players in this company, because without Cody Rhodes, AEW is an afterthought. The Bucks and Omega end up in WWE because they pay him the big dollars, right? Without Cody Rhodes, this doesn't come together. He is the business mind who got Tony Khan on board to produce what we love, what we talk about every week.
Yes.
So I love that Cody Rhodes brought that up. I love that Cody Rhodes brought up Triple H, because competition. Go back and watch Ran on Wrestling. Why is it good for wrestling? Because it drives people. Cody Rhodes looked more focused tonight than ever. Like, that is the promos I used to love after All In that he cut. When there was a revolution, his promo against his brother. These are the ones that you sat down and you said, that guy's a top 5 promo in pro wrestling. Tonight, that Cody came back. I tweeted it out. I absolutely love this feud. And the biggest thing, Pac feels like the biggest star in it.
Yep. 100%.
And to me,
Right.
that's hard to do when you have Cody, Malachi, Andrade. When Pac was sitting down, flipping them off, sitting down like Malachi, that crowd was going
so great.
fucking berserk. So now we all kind of forgot about Pac, right?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
During the pandemic, because, he was stuck, overseas and stuff like that. And he came back, he would have a match, he had travel issues, couldn't make it to All Out. Him and Andrade had to have the match on Rampage. We know just the way the numbers come in. People don't watch Rampage the way they watch Dynamite. This was a big moment.
Rampage is a horrible time slot. And I hope they change that. That's the one thing.
Yeah, who the hell would do a show at 10 o'clock at night?
I'm old as fuck.
Who would go
Look,
live?
right now? Right, yeah.
Who would go live with a show at 10 o'clock at night?
We're only doing that because it's your
Dumbass
wedding.
idea.
You know damn well, Tired Boy's the worst. Tired Boy would be
exhausted
sleeping
right
right
now.
now. You know what I mean? So
I'm so tired.
But like a Friday 10 o'clock show isn't.
Yeah, that's rough.
Is it made for ratings? It's made for you to go back and watch, go back and stream, which I do, which everyone does here. I mean, we get to watch it live, but if I have work and I need to go to bed, I'm going to fucking record it and watch it the next day because it is can't miss TV. I hope TBS gives them a different slot. I think Rampage is actually staying on TNT.
I think so, yeah.
Which kind of scares me because that 10 o'clock slot is very hard after people have already watched 2 hours of SmackDown. Because most diehard wrestling fans are watching both. You're allowed to. You're allowed to watch both, guys. It's no rule saying you can't.
Yeah.
But like, give it to us. Give me Saturday morning Slam, right? Let me fucking wake up at 9 o'clock and watch them fucking tear the roof off my Saturday morning. Like, give me something like that.
We have Adam in the chat saying, "Give me Rampage Saturday at 6 p.m." It will never happen because
too much sports. Whoa, college football. Like college football,
well, not just
and
that,
NFL.
but they do pay-per-views on Saturdays unless it's a holiday weekend, and plus they don't like to counter program on UFC. And I know UFC start at 10 o'clock at night, but still they like to give them the day. They don't like to even be on that day at all.
And Phoenix says TV14 or MA doesn't work on Saturday morning. Rampage doesn't really give you many matches that are like Dynamite's more your rated R show, right? Like so. I think you could do it Saturday morning, right? Like you don't need to just have the blood on Saturday morning. The show, they don't do a lot of promos because it's only an hour long. So I think it works there.
Infinity saying Thursday at 8 p.m. There's no way they're running back-to-back nights.
Yeah.
I know for them it's not back-to-back nights, but for the fans, I think we see with
it would be better,
WWE, there's fatigue that sets in.
But it would be better because
it's fatigue that sets in.
No, it's fatigue when you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's when fatigue sets in. If you give me 3 hours of programming over 2 nights, I'm going to watch it. If you give me 10 hours of program over 3 days, I'm not watching it. There's a big difference.
True, but I like having the day in between. Plus, it works for our show better because we can show the next
Actually, not really. We can just do our show.
Selfishly, we
selfishly. But listen, it's
Impact.
All valid points.
Phoenix, I know you're saying not against Impact. Impact draws about as many viewers as our show on Twitch. So,
well, listen, the Impact AEW relationship is coming to an end because rumors are saying Impact is looking for another network and they don't want to be affiliated with TNT if they're not on TNT. So, I mean, if Impact is going to end this relationship, then I mean, you're
I like what Impact is doing.
Anyway.
Impact does not do a good job of promoting their product at all because
Bound for Glory was fucking fantastic.
Was good.
And no one is talking about it.
But when you talk to someone and you go, yeah, I was watching Impact. They go, TNA still on? And you're like, yeah, it never went away. Like, what channel? Fuck, I don't fucking know. Twitch? I don't know what channel. Like,
yeah.
What channel is it on this week?
It's on Impact. It's
on
their
Access.
Streaming service now.
Access.
No, but it's also on their streaming service.
But not everyone gets Access.
Not Access. It's on Impact
It's on
Plus.
Access, though. It is.
I know, but it's also on Impact Plus at the same time. They stream it there instead of Twitch. They're not on Twitch anymore.
It doesn't matter.
But yes, and to agree with you, it is very confusing.
That relationship was great for AEW because it got the Good Brothers over, which I think
was great for the picture of Kenny holding all the belts. That's why they did it.
We didn't get Deanna versus Britt. We didn't get
They're
Jordan Grace on TV. We didn't like.
Trying.
It definitely looked like everything favored the AEW side of things, right? Because even when Omega lost, he lost to an AEW guy who then took the title and lost. So to me, it benefited AEW. It did benefit Impact because they have Omega. And Impact, drew a little bit more numbers with Kenny. But overall, like, the relationship was cool. The Forbidden Door was cool. I'm enjoying it much more with Japan. Much more what you
because the
pay.
Impact thing, like honestly, it's like yes, it benefited AEW more, but it didn't benefit them like tremendously.
No, it didn't. It didn't move a needle. Like it wasn't like Suzuki coming in against Danielson moved the needle.
Yeah,
Like
I
Suzuki's on
expected so
Impact.
much more from that.
Suzuki taped the match on Impact.
Yeah, but now he's gone.
Yeah, well, I don't think his match has aired yet.
Yeah, but his tour's over. But Jackie, I totally agree. Like we didn't get if you would have had Deanna come on fucking AEW television and beat Britt Baker or beat Thunder Rosa, like you could have did that. But
the women's division standed to gain the most from that partnership because Impact, all jokes aside, has a very strong knockouts division. And at the time, AEW didn't really have the same momentum with their women's division. So I wanted to see more crossover happening in those forums. I wanted to see more crossover in the tag team division. And I felt like we got the Good Brothers and Kenny got an extra title.
Yeah,
that's what we got.
The Good Brothers didn't really bring anything except laughs on being the elite.
Yeah.
What did they? Like, we were all happy to see them, but what did they? If again,
they didn't really add to the match value.
And I don't want them to close the door. I agree with Chris Phoenix in the chat. I don't want them to close the door. I love the open door because I love Deonna Purrazzo. I like Jordan Grace. The inspiration are now in Impact. I would love to see them jump over and jump back.
Ray Miguel.
You know what I mean? I would love to see it. I get why Impact's doing it. You can't be tied to TNT. And then they go, this is the thing. You sit down in a business meeting and you go, are your numbers because of you or are your numbers because of AEW?
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to say when all your numbers were up when Kenny Omega was on your show and Kenny Omega's not on your show. That's a hard argument to make. So they have to end it to get the contract. Maybe when they get the contract, Forbidden Door opens back up. You never know. Business is a funny thing.
100%. I'm yelling at 4-star in the chat because he's bringing up RVD, and I hate RVD.
Yeah, because RVD... but RVD got them kicked off Twitch. Oh, Jesus Christ. Phil's going in.
Yeah, I can't stand Katie Forbes, but we're not going to talk about it. She's awful and brings the women's division back fucking 30 years. She's horrible.
That's one thing I did want to see 4-star was Callahan versus Mox. That is exactly what I wanted to see.
So, as we get closer to the end of this, there's two things that I want to bring up. One, I want to talk about Sammy versus Ethan Page. No, we already talked about Mom. Oh, Mom versus 10?
Yeah, you want to talk about Mom versus 10.
John Momley.
The Teletubbies.
Let's talk about Sammy versus Eddie real quick. Listen, Eddie, not Eddie. Fuck am I talking about? Ethan Page. Sammy
Wrong
versus
E.
Ethan, it's late.
Eduardo was great. Who the fuck is Eduardo? Who is he talking about?
So Sammy Guevara versus Ethan Page for the TNT title was an incredible match. Sammy takes some crazy risks, which is saying something in this company where it seems like a lot of people do it, but he puts his body in jeopardy a lot.
I took the words.
Cody Hood said something really funny to me, and I want to get your guys' opinions on it.
All right.
Cody Hood said, Sammy Guevara is the Sasha Banks of male wrestlers. Now, let me say what that means. Sasha Banks puts her body in a lot of crazy positions where she can almost get hurt.
Yes.
And I think Sammy does that a lot too. Now,
the scale's like Darby Allin and then everyone else, though.
Darby's like trying to die. Like I said, Darby is just a maniac. But like, Sammy does some stuff that you're just like, oh man, like, I mean, cool, you nailed it, but like, it was very close, But
it's just like a fraction off, and and we're having a different conversation.
But with Sammy,
I thought it was great.
Sammy, I ate my words. Right, I took my words out of my bag and I ate them because he's coming out, and I say to you guys, I'm like, I like Sammy, but I just don't get the hype. His matches are okay, and then he puts on a fucking banger tonight. And I was like, all right, let me eat my words real quick. But I'm glad I did because, again, entertainment purposes. And Ethan Page is fantastic, and it was great not to see Dan Lambert and actually see Ethan Page work.
Thank God.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, there was a couple of moves. I think it was that there was some off the turnbuckle where everything just looks so precarious, and I'm like, it almost looks like it's kind of getting botched. And then they tighten it up and everything's fine. But like Sammy's just like unbelievable when he hits that aerial stuff. It's nuts. I always feel like I'm gonna watch an injury. But to what Ant was saying, I'm kind of the same way about Sammy Guevara. Like I don't dislike Sammy Guevara. He's not my favorite, but I feel like my interest in his matches is very dependent on who his opponent is. And I think in this cage, Ethan Page was a really I felt like they complement each other well. Yeah.
4 to 3 ATT guys for the 5 versus 5. I think it's 2 guys and a girl because I think Paige Van Zant's going to get her hands on Chris Jericho.
100%.
I said the first thing when they said it's going to be 5-on-5, we got to pick, and I'm like, Paige Van Zant, just put her in the match. I want an intergender match.
It's going to be Junior Dos Santos because he already had a match and show that you can trust him in a pro wrestling setting.
Phoenix, Paige Van Zant can realistically fight guys, so yes.
Yes.
She could legit probably knock Chris Jericho out.
So Phoenix, I don't know if you know this, but in MMA gyms, there's not a lot of women in them. So the women train with the men anyway. And Paige Van Zant trains with guys. I don't think she trains with women at all. So, like, she's fought guys before. It's not a big... Yeah, it could be... So, Masvidal, JDS... No, because it's only 5. So, it's the Man of the Year in 3. JDS, Van Zant, and her husband. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be... I think Masvidal will be ringside or something. I don't think he's getting in a ring. That dude is still like a fighting in UFC. I don't know if Dana wants him to get in a ring. JDS is like either retired or fighting in another company. So, but now the one thing I want to end the show with, unless you have something else to say.
No, I need. I think we all need a break from the Jericho promos. I love Chris Jericho, but I
need a break. And you just reminded me of something. Dear AEW, okay, my name's Phil. Hi, how you doing? We love you. I love you. We love you. Please stop telling us the Inner Circle is reuniting. They never broke up. They never broke up. They just did other things. Sammy went and won the title. Santana and Ortiz went into a fucking dope feud.
When has the Pinnacle worked 2 matches together and they didn't break up?
Exactly. Yeah, nobody's going out there saying the Pinnacle's reunited. It's just like reunited from what?
And I love the Inner Circle. They've been a lot of fun. They've been a big part of this company, right? They've given us some great moments. I love Santana Ortiz. You love Sammy. But let me fucking tell you something. I need a break. I need a break from the Inner Circle for at least 6 months. I don't want nothing to do. I wish Sammy would have lost tonight just to get him away from it just for a second, just for like half a year, because I need a break. I can't take these big team matches that involve the Inner Circle when you have other teams that aren't really being used, right? I'd rather see what the hell is Ryan Nemeth and their team called again?
Ryan Nemeth, the Dolph Zigglers. Yeah.
Pretty Peter and what the hell they called? The Wingmen. I'd rather see the Wingmen.
Thank you.
The Wingmen in a feud. Thank you, Phoenix. Said it as I said.
Damn, the whole
I'd rather see them in a feud. Yeah. But yeah, so besides that, I'm excited for the match because I'm a big Paige Van Zant fan. You know, I used to be a huge MMA fan, not really as much anymore, but it's always cool to see the crossover. But now the one thing I want to end the show with, so we had some breaking news today happen in the wrestling world that I want to bring up. So Ring of Honor, who, if you watch the start of the show, started with 2 former Ring of Honor talent. And you had Danielson, you had, Adam Cole, the Bucks, Cody, like all these people, Hangman, right? They're all former Ring of Honor talent. And today we found out that Ring of Honor released all of their talent. Now, the wrestling world is abuzz, and why I wanted to bring it up. And this, who do you think from Ring of Honor would be a good fit in AEW? So I'll start with you, Ant.
Brody King, House of Black.
Yep, a lot of people are saying that.
They're already the tag team champions in PWG.
Mm-hmm.
Bring them over. The Briscoes, people have their opinions on them, but the Briscoes, AEW is made for tag team wrestling. So you got to bring the Briscoes. I think Gresham will go over with Grace to Impact.
Well, can we get Gresham in a one-off match with Danielson before he does that?
And I would like to see Bandito get over here. Because he was
Rush. What? How do you say? Is it Roosh?
He was awesome at all.
Yeah, Roosh.
Roosh, isn't that Andrade's cousin? Get him over.
Everyone wants Danhausen over.
I don't listen.
Not a big fan either.
It's not that
he's cool,
it's not.
But
I can't say that I'm not a big fan because I haven't watched like really any of his stuff, but the clips that I saw, I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it. He's very evil. I don't know what that means. I just don't get it. And I already like Orange Cassidy. I already have a fun character. I don't need another one. Send him to Impact. He would be great on Impact.
Tired Boy's the worst.
Tired Boy is most certainly the worst. But Jackie, anybody who are you looking forward to? Ring of Honor?
Honestly, I don't have any like standout names. And you know, I maybe have pigeonholed myself over time. Like I just haven't really had a time to like sit and really watch. Obviously, you know, as a resident FTR fan here, they have been clamoring for that match with the Briscoes for quite some time now. So even if the Briscoes don't sign with AEW full time, I would like to just see the match just for the sake of seeing it. But if you were to ask me like one person, like pinpoint, no, I don't have anybody.
So actually, I have a few people, and it's in the women's division. Give me Roxy, who was the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, who won that great tournament, and who's awesome and very young and has a ton of potential. Give me Miranda Alizé. I think you have, or Elise, as you say her name. She's incredible, great heel in Ring of Honor. And give me Quinn McKay. Is awesome, and has a ton of potential. And obviously, Chelsea Green's probably going to go to Impact, right, full time, because she was doing Impact in Ring of Honor and NWA anyway.
Stay there.
Yeah, and she probably will, right? But I think Quinn McKay, Roxy, and Miranda Elise, that's who I want from that division, because the Ring of Honor was making a really good women's division, right? They were building the foundation blocks to that division, and Maria Kanellis was working very hard building that division and making it something special. So I definitely want that. And like we said, I want Jonathan Gresham versus Bryan Danielson. And if he wants to work with his wife at Impact with Jordan Grace, then he can go there. Jonathan Gresham is a absolute megastar. So if he goes to Impact, win that world title away from Moose, which I guess everybody hates Moose. I liked Moose. I don't know why people are mad at him that he won, but whatever.
He cashed in.
Well, I mean, that's the stipulation. What do you want to do?
I think that, you know, without getting too far into it, there may have been some like outside of wrestling drama that happened that kind of swayed people into not liking him as a person.
And that's because he stuck up for someone that we stick up for. So let's move on.
Yeah, I'm like, we don't.
Is that what it is?
It's just like that may have been something about that.
Whatever. But yeah, I think it's going to be a very exciting time in the world of wrestling right now, with Ring of Honor releasing their entire company, not just the wrestlers, ring announcers and commentators. So, you know, is this a death of Ring of Honor? I mean, I guess, right? I don't know how they come back from this with no talent.
I think it's over for them unless they, I don't know. I'm more curious to see who buys the footage.
The library. I saw a lot of people talking about, AEW should buy the Ring of Honor library just because there's so many talents in their company who has worked there and who's had big matches and big careers there. I think that'd be really cool. Maybe
they're saying they're coming back in April next year, but but with what talent?
That's what I'm saying. You release all your talent. So, and they're paying their talent for the rest of the year, which is good, but still, like, you know, this talent could have signed multi-year deals, right? So, like, now they have to go find jobs. And I mean, some of them are going to get signed to WWE and it might get lost in the shuffle. I just hope they all land on their feet because there are some really talented people over there, like the ones that we said. But any final thoughts on this week's Dynamite? I'll start with you. Or Jackie.
I was going to say, because I got some.
All right, go. Let me hear it.
Well, for starters and for finishers, peep the FTR shirt. Yep. There was the challenge that was issued by the Lucha Brothers for Full Gear for the AEW Tag Team titles against FTR, and FTR obviously accepted. All I'm saying is please manifest this for me. I know that we love the Lucha Brothers and they just got these titles, but I really want to go to North Carolina and be able to touch the AEW Tag Team titles in person. So if FTR can pick up the win on that, that would be freaking fantastic. So I can actually see those belts in person at the end of November. But I'm hyped to see this rematch. They always bring gold, FTR versus Lucha Brothers. There's some chemistry that they've got there. So bring it on at Full Gear. Hyped.
Oh, man, it's going to be an unbelievable match. Any final words from you, Mr. DiStefano?
Great show tonight. Thank you, Jay Garkill, for the birthday shout out. You the best.
Yes, and happy birthday, Mr. DeStefano.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank
to
you guys for the wrestling shirts you guys got me. It's awesome.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you for trying to get me a cameo. Shout out to the professor. We love you. But
Love you, Monty.
that was a fantastic show tonight. Very fun. And again, now next week it gives us Andrade versus Cody. Like it always gives you something to look forward to. I can't believe we did 2 shows in 2 days. And Phil, I'll see you tomorrow for your wedding.
Can't wait. It's going to be a very big weekend. And as always, if you want to follow the show, it's at Elite POV everywhere. We have Twitter. We have Instagram.
Oh, wait. We buy a shirt, too. Hold on. Let me put this slide up.
ElitePOVmerch.com if you guys want to buy some of this incredible merchandise that Infinity, our guy, our boy, our dad.
Yeah. Daddy Infinity.
Our dad has
Elite
Daddy
POV
Infinity.
dad.
Elite POV dad.
Papa
Has
POV.
designed for Papa POV. Perfect. Poppy POV.
Poppy POV.
If you will.
Hey.
Dad is here in the chat. Love you, Infinity. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, it's at PhilliumElite. Jackie, let them know where they can follow you.
Yes, you can follow me on Twitter at LoveYouMake24 and on Instagram at JacksTheDrawPOV.
And Ant, let them know.
You can follow me at ant_is_elite or Game of Wrestling, which you can catch every Tuesday night on twitch.tv/Game of Wrestling. We have pay-per-view coming up next month, but we have a special show featuring the first probably E-Federation wedding ever happening. That's going to be a shit show, so be prepared. And that happens in 2 weeks on GOW Iron, which is going to be like one of our AEW shows where it's just a regular ambition, but we name it and make the card huge.
Listen, and for anybody who is new to the E-Fed scene, Ant is definitely the best way to get thrown in. He puts on incredible shows.
Yes.
You know, it is a lot of fun. So make sure you head on over there, twitch.tv/Game of Wrestling. It's a good time. Be in the chat, get some points, bet on some stuff. It is just a really, really fun time. Well, thank you guys for listening to a very special edition, a late edition. Tired Boy is the worst.
Tired Boy is the worst.
Tired Boy is
Elite
the worst.
POV. And just remember, you don't need a hat to be a marshmallow. See you next week.